Hey, Steam. All right, heading down to the art walk, so I thought I would do my little blog thing for the day. Talk about FOMO pressure, the 5 Ps, successful advice from not successful people, or at least smart advice from not successful people, and then the Udemy for Superman, the courses. So FOMO pressure, I know we all know what FOMO is, fear of missing out, you know, but FOMO pressure is usually pressure from somebody else, because they're so adamant about like what you're gonna miss out on, you know. So they're pressuring you to go. You got friends, you know, like I hear it every time I mentioned that I sold my Burning Man ticket to all my friends. They're like, oh man, you're gonna miss out, like there's so much cool shit, da da da. It's like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna not be able to see the cool shit, but it happens next year, you know. There's another Burning Man. And I think the priority of being able to just travel and go to Burning Man when I fucking feel like it, and do other stuff is a little bit better. So, as far as that translates to the crypto markets and stuff like that is, you know, you get, I mean, everybody knows ICOs are fucking insane. Everybody's got a new ICO for something. We were making jokes about having, you know, like Viagra ICO, you know, just buys you fucking subscriptions to Pornhub. And if you steal that and use it, at least give me 10%. I don't really give a shit. But there was also other people like with 10X. 10X came out, shit ton of people were waiting for it. That shit bottomed out like there was no tomorrow. You know, it's now sitting at like a buck 25, buck 10 or something like that. It was like buck 08 last night. And other people were like, just get it, like get it now. Like you're gonna totally miss out if you don't get it. It's like, yeah, but if it drops another 100 points like it did today, then I'm eating, you know, I'm gonna wash, and that doesn't make any sense to me. So FOMO pressure, you know, watch out for it. It's not just your fear of missing out, it's when other people tell you, you know, you're gonna miss out, which for me works, because when people tell me I'm gonna miss out on something, I usually just don't care. But there's that. All right, the 5 Ps, car coming by. Proper planning prevents poor performance. God, it's a mouthful. Heard it a long time ago from a buddy of mine, and it's pretty straight explanatory. Like if you have good preparation, you know what you're going into something for, you've done your research, you've done your due diligence, you ain't gonna fuck it up as bad. You know, with a lot of people getting into the crypto markets, I mean any market, if you're Forex, if you're stock market, your future, anything, you know, if you don't prepare, you better be really good at thinking on your feet, because you are gonna fuck the pooch on those things. And that's something that, you know, I personally try to do. I try to research as much shit as I possibly can about everything that I do. If I'm getting into deciding to, crossing the street here, customize a ROM, that I'm getting the customized ROMs, like clearing the bloat on that shit, yeah, better learn how you do it, or you're fucking your phone up and you're gonna go buy another one. I mean, I buy like cheap ass phones, so it's not a big deal, but for other people, you eat an $800 phone, you're gonna feel like an idiot. Same with, you know, when you go Windows to Linux, when you go make job choices, if you quit one job to go to another job, and you don't read the fine fucking print, you know, you can be in a bad problem. So keep that in mind when you're looking up something, when you're looking at your ICOs, when you're looking at your investors. If you're not sure, places, you know, I know a lot of people ask like, where do I go to look? You know, I had that problem. You know, there's so much random information and straight bad information all over the place. YouTube, Reddit, websites, Facebook pages, groups, Slack groups, Discord groups, you know, even some of the people on Steam throwing out some pretty bad information that really doesn't add up, which is great, because that's why we have the downvote. We can be like, click. So yeah, just remember that, those 5 little Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. That's a good way to get from eating a bunch of stuff. All right, now, successful advice from unsuccessful people, or at least smart advice from unsuccessful people, however you want to look at it. You know, failure teaches a lot. You learn a lot from failure. I'm a big proprietor of failure. I, you know, even say it in my job interviews. They're like, well, what do you do if you fail? I go, I get happy, which usually throws the interviewer off. And I'm like, but because if I fail, right? If I fail, that means I'm going to learn how to do it right. You know, you can go to a lot of job interviews and you can go, look, I'm green. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm not going to do it right the first time, but you're going to train me to be how you need me to be. I'm going to be the employee you want. which, you know, you're being honest with yourself and the interviewer about what you can do and what they can't do. That being said, I remember this was probably like close to 15 years now, when Google, before Google did their first split, or didn't split, it was like 18 or something like that, with the ex and her parents. Their dad was holding on to gold and silver at the time, and some just bullshit stock that wasn't doing anything. And they had lived, his dad, you know, multi-millionaire, set up trusts for everybody, like shit ton of money for them to live off of and stuff like that. But yeah, so he had this stock that just wasn't doing anything for him. It was just sitting there and it wasn't going anywhere. I think it was for a company that just isn't even around anymore. And I told him, I was like, look, man, just move it into Google. If you move it into Google, you will not be upset. You know, it won't cost you anything. It literally would not cost you anything to move your stock into Google. At that point, you know, I was like, there's nothing but, you know, skies at this point with Google. Google has made its 5-year tenure. It was going well. Its public sales were, I mean, it wasn't even that much money in their public sales. But because I was 18, I was young, I didn't have any fucking money because my family's all broke. You know, he didn't listen to me. And Google. So there is a lot of advice from people out there that are successful that is bad advice. Like you see it all the time. And that's because there's not a lot of people that they're not invested in you becoming successful. They're gonna be invested in them becoming successful. So them giving you, there could be guys that give you fucking horrible advice that are supposed to know what they are doing. And they could be on purpose. They could be doing that purposely, though that's not really always that common. And then there's people that, because they're in a situation that doesn't make them look beneficial, that doesn't make them look successful, that have learned from their probably failures. Like, I don't want to use Trump because, you know, but there are other, you know, Tommy Hilfiger and a bunch of other people that went bankrupt their first 1 or 2 times doing business, that failed, that ate a shit ton of money they didn't have. And from that, they learned, you know, their tax brackets and how to properly garnish money and how to raise capital for their business and do all this other stuff from that failure. And if you ask them questions, if you ask them things about how to, you know, one of the first things that they'll tell you, a lot of them will just be like, fail. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you, go fail. Because you learn who you are from that aspect. So there's, yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that. About to cross the button. All right, so and then finally, Udemy, Superman's, I got it for like 15 euros. You know, really, honestly, it's not bad information. He's very entertaining. He doesn't make me want to climb through my computer monitor and beat him within an inch of his life. Which some YouTubers are just so goddamn annoying. Like, nobody cares if you're yo-broing. Like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, so is it worth the $10 or the $15, like, you know, promo code fee? Yes, definitely. You get 4.5 hours to kind of like handhold you into, you know, the beginning of how to do all this stuff. I do wish he would talk more about, like, also add the concept of mining platforms into his Udemy courses, because that's also a big thing with trading. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. But overall, not bad. You know, if you spend the time to go to his YouTube channel, I'm gonna run across the street here. Almost pretty much all the videos that he has for Udemy are on his YouTube video, or his channel. So you can, I mean, you just gotta piece it together and timeline it. If you go through his channel and just timeline it, you can pretty much get the same thing. There are some things that you get extra, you know, access to the Facebook page and, you know, being able to get a hold of him every once in a while to do stuff. But that's fine. That's good, you know. It's always good to find people that have been both successes and failures in what you're trying to do, and go talk to them. Just ask them questions. You know, you can learn a lot by going to somebody and be like, well, you ate $50,000 on a trade. How did you do that? Oh, you sold before it made money. That's not really a loss. That's just bad planning. But yeah, so anyway, I'm about to hit my airwalk. This is a long ass video. Check you guys next time.